I've spent 300 years fighting for the Order. I've killed thousands of orcs and defended dozens of rifts. And this is how it ends. One slip and a kobold's blood, and my skull cracks open on the gatehouse steps. So now the task of defending this fortress falls to my apprentice. That's it, then. The world is doomed.
It's all up to me now. Rest well, crazy old man. First things first. Let's see what he left me in this spell book.
Hello and good evening, my friends. Welcome to a brand new Let's Play. We're going to be playing Orcs Must Die, as you probably surmised by now. Orcs Must Die, what is this game? Well, as you can see, it's kind of a third-person-y, action-y, over-the-shoulder type thing, and there's a crosshairs there, so I can indeed shoot. It's also got some tower defense elements going on here. So, let's take a look at what we got going on here. So, you can see at the bottom there, slots. I have a crossbow in my leftmost slot, and I have 3 other slots that I can pick things. I do have the DLC for this game, so there's some added things. The Vampiric Gauntlets, and the Alchemist's Satchel, and probably, I'd assume, like the Floor Scorcher, and maybe the Zapper, I don't know. Anyway, so we'll be unlocking more things as we go. This is a fresh save. I cleared out my old save data. I have indeed played and beaten this game in the past. So we're gonna pick our traps here. And they all have kind of different benefits and things. So first, let me back up a little bit. Let me go through the weapons. We have weapons that we can equip. And we can go back and we can choose our equipment so long as we haven't actually placed any traps yet. So crossbow, this is kind of going to be our main weapon. We can zoom in. You can see the crosshairs get a little crazier and wider as we shoot more. It's best to kind of use it in short bursts. It also has kind of a stunning attack. Bloop, little stun grenade thing that consumes some of our mana. You can see up in the top left corner our health and our mana, right by where it says hit down to open the spellbook. There's the Blade Staff, which is a melee weapon. Special's a little shockwave thingy. I am not ever going to use that because it's dumb. Vampiric Gauntlets consumes mana to absorb health from enemies. And then we can burn our health to get our mana back. And now I don't have any way of actually recovering my health since I did that, but whatever. The last one, Alchemist's Satchel, I'll probably be using this a little bit. Place these little bombs, and that consumes mana, and then we hit the button, boom, we can blow them up afterwards. So that's kind of neat. For our starting couple of traps here, I'm going to go with probably tar traps and the Floor Scorcher. So I'll talk about the ones I'm not using. Spike Trap. And it says right there in the description, it costs 300 coins to place. I'll talk about currency as we get going here. Place it on the floor, resets after firing. So when an enemy steps on it, spikes pop out, and it does a little bit of damage. Not super great, but they're also quite cheap. So, you know, it's kind of a wash at that point. Shock Zapper. Mounted on the ceiling, adept at frying flyers. We'll deal with that a bit more later as well. Not super necessary in the first level here. Mana Well. Stick it on the wall, and it accumulates mana over time. Then when we run low on mana, we can run over to it and get a little refill. Drink some mana from the well, so to speak. Pretty handy in the later levels when we're using a lot more of our weapons, more than anything else. Floor Scorcher pops up and shoots fire, so that's pretty awesome. They're pretty powerful. Just for funsies, I'm actually probably going to not even bother using traps in this level. This is the very first level. So what's going on the screen? Bottom, you can see all of our stuff. We can flop around, we can place traps, we can rotate them, those sorts of things. I'm mostly just going to be using the Mana Well thing, or Alchemist's Satchel things here. We have a couple of archers that were just given to us by the game, this being the first level. They will be hanging out here, shooting at enemies. Again, this is the very first level, so this is going to be kind of a joke. We can also shoot some, also. So, next to our traps down there, you can see our money. We get money for killing orcs. We get money for kill streaks, killing lots of enemies very quickly. We get some money for kill combos, which is having them affected by many, many, many different things. So I will actually go back and place some traps here. So we'll see. These are just going to slow down enemies a lot. And then, what the heck, we'll place some floor scorchers here. So as we hit enemies with more things, we will get kill streaks. Or we'll get combo bonuses. It has to be a lot of things, though, so we're kind of not going to be getting any combos with what we've got right now. There we go. Combo times 3 popped up when that floor scorcher went off. So going through the tar and getting hit by the fire and shot by archers, that's going to be a nice little combo. And plus whatever I do, you know, if I shoot them or stun them or anything like that. So beyond our money and those sorts of things, what else do we have going on? Well, top right corner, you can see our mini-map. There's not a lot going on right there because this is a pretty basic level. Enemies are coming in through that door, and they're marching back here towards this glowy thing. This is a rift. It will heal us our HP. I completely forgot about that.
His job. Try this on for size.
We can also pull up traps between rounds like this. We have a couple seconds. You saw that timer counting down there. We'll go with floor scorchers on the side there once I can afford them. Just for fun. Extra fire.
Good times. Good times.
Honestly, at this point, we can probably just stand back and hang out. So enemies are coming in. You can see the red dots of the enemies on the mini-map there. They're marching in. They're heading towards this glowy blue rift at the back here. Below that, bottom of the mini-map, you can see 3 out of 3. That's number of waves that have passed. So this is the third and final wave of enemies. They kind of come and go in waves. As I mentioned, you can pull up your traps during the waves, but you can't do anything about your traps. Or you can pull up your traps after the waves. You can't do anything about them during the waves. Finally, at the top of the mini-map there, you can see 20 with kind of a nice glowy blue outline there. That's how many rift points are available for this rift. So as these orcs get through, they will knock off rift points, and there will be tougher enemies later. You know, right now we're just seeing these simple, most basic orcs. Later there'll be like big, nasty ogre monsters, and those will be worth like 5 rift points if they make it through, and things like that. If we die, we lose all of our HP, we will respawn pretty quickly. Not a big deal there, but our death will cause rift points to be knocked off, in addition to time where we're actually dead and waiting to respawn, where enemies can, you know, march past our traps and potentially get in there. So that's the gist of it. The last thing here, victory. So you see the skulls underneath the word victory and then high score, you know, whatever, that's neat. So if we take a look at the stat screen here, you'll see rift points lost, none. So for keeping all of your rift points, you will get up to 4 skulls. So if we had led an orc through, we would have had skulls knocked off kind of in proportion to the number of orcs that made it through. Kind of the percentage of rift points that we have remaining. So if just one orc had gone through, or if we had died in that level, we would have only gotten 3 out of 4 skulls, or maybe, you know, only 2 out of 4, or something like that. And then the last one is for completion time, for hitting a par. There's kind of a rough par for each, well, not rough, there's a clearly defined par for each level. In this case, it was 4 minutes, and we beat that level in 3.5 minutes. So for hitting that par time, we get our 5th skull. These skulls are going to be super important for us going forward. I'm going to try to get 5 skulls on every level. I'm not promising that's going to happen. There's definitely a cutoff point where the difficulty spikes, and I'm probably not going to want to go back and replay all these levels. I don't know, but these skulls are used to upgrade our weapons and our traps as we go. I'll show that off later when we have more stuff that's worth upgrading and when we have more skulls to spend. So yeah, we'll worry about that in later videos. I have rambled on enough in this video, even though it's only, only a couple minutes long. I'm going to be doing one level like this per video. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time in the next level.